Okay. No, I do not want to auto-accept guest requests. Hey, folks. Let's invite them. We then have Rebecca Valderrama and Ted Kostis. Hey, Dory.
There we go. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
That was so fast. How are y'all?
Doing well. How are you doing?
There's my buddy. How are y'all? Good.
Life has been doing the things that life does, but I am still here.
Despite the horrors, I persist.
I live from spite. No. Tanya, hello.
Hello. Scream into the void. I would rather scream at people.
Sometimes when you scream into the void screams back.
Yeah. We don't need another Thulu. So, we're just waiting on our author, Ted. Or do we, says Tessa. Well, who knows? But yeah, so in the few minutes that we're waiting for Ted to arrive, Rebecca, did you get the manuscript? Cool. Well, hopefully he joins us. I know that he was having some issue with time zones. Because our author tonight is in Greece, I believe. So it is 3 a.m. where he is, I believe. Been a minute since you've gotten to enjoy cold read action. Well, you'll have a fun one today.
Yeah, I was just looking at that and I'm like, ooh, this is different than what we usually do. I like it.
Mm-hmm. More of the sci-fi than the romantasy that we get a lot of.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Mucho gusto.
Oh yeah, my StarCraft-loving nerd heart is like, let's go.
Be a good one. I just shared the live with Ted. Hopefully that'll cause them to join up. But in the meantime, let's crack on with checking in with you wonderful narrators as to what you're up to. Rebecca, what you been up to lately?
Whew, I have been surviving lately. Honestly, just trying to get back to work. Had a brief little hospital stay, but we're good. And I'm working on spicy books, so I can't really be on live right now. So if y'all don't hear me, just know things are happening.
You're okay, though? You're doing all right? Good. Ted, I sent you an invite. There we go. Do you want to see one of the latest things I've been working on?
Absolutely.
Always. It's a dragon!
Ooh, that's cool. Is that leather?
It's all made out of leather.
Oh, that's cool as heck.
Together. Yeah.
I love it. I love how you did the claws, especially.
Thank you. Just
Oh, someone insert the meme of the credit card being banged on the table. Take it.
I will be selling them at the convention that I have a booth at next week.
And which
absolute
convention
fire.
would that be?
It's FanX in Salt Lake City, which is basically
Slop.
Comic-Con. But San Diego sent them a cease and desist for using the word Comic-Con in there. So they called it FanX instead. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome everyone to tonight's session of CSI Cold Reads. Good to have you all here. We have the wonderful Ted Kostis, who will be our author for today. And so we will be reading a little sample from their story. This is Cold Read Live, and as such we do a cold read. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what a cold read is, it is where the narrators don't take any time to prepare, they just start reading. So mistakes will happen, because that just happens. First time you read a story, sometimes you might miss a sentence, miss a word and whatnot. Things do happen, but we are professional narrators, so we're going to make our mistakes look like they were intentional, right? So tonight we will be going over this little sample that has been sent, but beforehand I will be asking Ted a bunch of questions about their story. Now, unlike some other book talk interview shows, we're not going to be focusing too much on the production and the publishing process of the story. We really want to get a feel for the world. We want you to be able to hear the background sounds. We want you to be able to smell the stale air coming out of the airlock. We are hoping that you would feel like you are right there with our 3 different styles of narration. So, as we go around, and thank you, Ammon K, for making me lose the game, as we start, let's check in with who we have present and what we're up to. So I'm going to get started. My name is Aaron. I am an audiobook narrator. I have narrated 250 audiobooks, mostly within the fantasy genre. And what I'm doing right now, what I'm up to, is I will be starting soon a duet narration with my wife as the female narrator. It is Uprising by K.R. Solberg. We are very excited about doing this story, so do look forward to some live readings of me. My lovely wife doesn't feel confident enough to do the live readings, but I'll be sharing some samples of her doing the narration as we go along. So, Dory, hi, please introduce yourself to the folks at home and what you've got going on right now.
Hi, I'm Dory, Lady Dragonflame Murdoch, and currently first and foremost, I am the narrator for award-winning author Clint Baker's book, Mr. Candle's book, and also a part of the Worshipped Around Reality Spin and Gods of the Flood. Currently, I am awaiting release of episode 1 of a animation that I am a part of called Weirdos Beyond the Blur, where I am playing the part of Amara Nell, who is a social worker, part of the housing agency for the weird, which is beings who are not of the ordinary folk. So anyone who is considered like mythical or spectral or anything outside of a regular human, they are part of the weird, and it's my job to help make sure they can have a place within society where they can live as much of a normal and peaceful life as they can. Episode 1 should be dropping somewhere around the end of the next month or so, and then episode 2 will be on the Patreon, and we'll be rotating like that. But great to see everybody.
Awesome. Tanya asks the question, Dory, of where can we listen to it?
I do not quite have all of the places that we're going to be able to listen, but I will be spreading the word near and far. The second we do, I have been waiting to finally have all the details to give everybody for what seems like forever. So just bear with me a little bit longer.
All right, no worries. Rebecca, you've already mentioned a little bit earlier, but please introduce yourself to the folks at home and what you've got going on these days.
All right, Rebecca. It's Valderrama, so just like how you see it written, it looks difficult. Don't worry, it's not. But and no relation to the soccer player or the actor. I've got, as I kind of mentioned earlier, a lot of spicy books coming up, including right now I am working on one for Emily Clapp, her Dark Hearts fantasy anthology. And then next I will be working on one for Artemis Broyles, her Chastity Christmas story. So that's getting closer. So yeah, those are what I'm working on right this moment. And then I got a few things that are in the backlog that should be releasing here soon. That's it for me.
Cool. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing those. Are you going to be putting up some little snippets and teasers to some of the spicy content that you have, even though you can't actually show the spice?
I do have a couple of teasers for my other ones. I do keep most of that stuff over on my alternate page because I do record under a pseudonym. But it is Scarlet with an E branches, Scarlet.branches. And I'm behind on promos, so those will be coming.
Fair enough. All right. Well, folks,
no pun intended.
Those are some to check out. I have a friend whose spice is under that name, under a different name. So there will be content towards that. Hopefully in the future, we'll see how that works out. Anyways, yeah, friend, Ted, welcome.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself to the folks at home and what you've got going on these days.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Tanya, Kelly Blue to your services, and you. And I'd like to welcome the other two guests, of course. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm Ted Kostis. I mainly write spy-fi, espionage, sci-fi, of course with space opera as the main background. Would you like me to say some things about today's excerpt, or?
We will get into that in just a moment. But do you have any releases coming up? Do you have any events that you'll be going to? Is there anything that you would like to plug right now?
Okay, actually, right now I'm writing two works in progress. the Rigged Gambit, and the Pearl of Queen Nyctandra, which is today's excerpt from, which all belong to the Tinker Tailor Soldier Serpent saga, which is like a political thriller, space opera, spy-fi, and all of that. There are 3 parts that are ready and are available, and I'm writing what happened before, which is this one. The Pearl and the Rigged Gambit is what happens after these 3 parts that are available. I mainly write because I like it very much, so I'm not very active in conferences and all of that. I just like writing. I just sit on my computer and I imagine, and that's most of it. Now, if some readers have found my works to be exciting and have bought some books, and this all goes to, it's like an it all goes to the effort. So this is what I really do. I just like very much writing this space opera. And,
Okay. Ted, I would like to say that the comment of some readers find you exciting and have bought your books is a bit of an understatement. Your story's fantastic, and I'm sure lots of people enjoy it.
I tend to be very humble, and thank you very much. But I tend to be, very humble. I tend to be like, if my effort is appreciated by some people, then my effort will be amplified.
Right.
It's obvious because it's not the financial compensation. It's the recognition that somebody says, "I'd like to read the next thing," and "I'd like to read the next thing." And this gives you a little bit of a hype up, This
Right.
is
Cool. Well, folks, Ted is humble, but good. Genuinely really good. So,
thank you.
Ted, first of all, it's 3 a.m. where you are, so thank you for waking up for us.
No problem. No, I'm a night bird.
Okay. Did you wake up, or are you still up?
No, you won't believe it, but I mainly work at night. Most of the things I write is in the deep midnight, and then I have to sleep in the morning. So, but it's not a problem for me. On the contrary, I like to thank you very much, you and Tanya, and of course, I enjoy the company of the other 2 narrators. Thank you very much for having me in your company. It's really like the best time for the things that I write. These city nights, these space stations, these catacombs, these planets, this whole thing. Now, if you'd like me, I can add some details about tonight's feature. What I do is that I suffer from overspawning. I'll explain what I mean. I write a book. I started writing Rigged Gambits, okay? And there was a detail in this, and this detail, I made it a book. I made it the Pearl of Queen Nyctandra. From 2 sentences, whole book, right? Why? Well, I could have left it in 2 sentences and said the guy goes to a planet, gets changed, finds a spaceship, escapes. But this could be like a standard movie, like Behind Enemy Lines. Guy gets shot, gets chased, finds an escape. By high concept, people expect that, but it's the same thing. So I said, why don't I put a little bit of flavor in it? And for example, the villain, the antagonist, is a paranormal queen who has a belief restructuring gauntlet, which captures people and changes their beliefs. And she has to do this by this midnight, for reasons that are explained in the book. So you have a time ticking clock. You have that she has to have a specific type of person that she has to put in the gauntlet, and the protagonist Rex Dodgers is one of them. And so a lot of things like that.
Okay. So, let's talk about our protagonist. For this sample that you've sent to us, is the protagonist still Rex Dodgers?
Yes. The protagonist of all the saga is Rex Dodgers. He's 38 years old. He's an elite intelligence officer. He actually belongs to the same kind of agency that James Bond belongs to, because James Bond belongs into counterintelligence. James Bond is sent to destroy people and organizations that threaten the crown. So he belongs to this kind of organization, which is the crown in this case is the Ghost Federation, which is very different from a crown. They actually overthrew a crown, and they have set up something like a semi-utopia, to give you a flavor, which is based on freedom and freedom of choice. So he is sent, of course, to the most dangerous and the most impossible missions. Their code name is Raven, and their agency believes that they're extremely effective, and they hope they're not expendable. So
Okay. So we said this last time you were on. Rex Dodgers, such a good name for a character. Such a good name. And he's a spy in a sci-fi setting, which is really cool, which is why you've coined the term spy-fi. Fantastic. And I like the analogy and the connection there that you explained with James Bond. Now, James Bond, in my viewpoint, is probably the worst spy ever, because everyone knows who he is. He is notorious. It's no good being a notorious spy or a notorious thief, or because then everyone knows who you are. Is Rex Dodgers notorious?
In this context, up to now, unfortunately not. The glamour is not there. If Rex Dodgers is seen by entities that know him, he's in big trouble. I intend to remedy that in the next section of the saga series, where I have thought of putting him in a casino spaceship, which doubles as a sanctuary for criminals or people that want to be protected for one way or the other. And he's chasing a criminal there, which holds the key to who is the mole that is threatening the Ghost Federation. Just to go on a fast forward on that.
Okay.
What I've seen is that this glamour a little bit pays, but I would still would not have Rex Dodgers be like James Bond. I would not have him walk in a casino and everybody knows him, and no guns are out.
Right. So give us the very simple and quick version of the backstory that sets up the scene we're about to write. What happens pretty much immediately before this scene.
Okay. What happens immediately? I have also sent a timeline, which, if you allow me to say, have put in my Patreon for free, and everybody can go and see it. I will write the Patreon name in a moment. Rex Dodge's superior told him to go to Planet Spaceport Royale and to meet the head of the pirate conclave there, Captain Henry Drake, and give him a data disk so Drake can communicate with them in symmetric encryption, because public key encryption has been broken in 2430. So he has to have a data disk so he can communicate with Rathington, Rex Dodge's superior. And this pirate captain says that he wants to defect to the Ghost Federation, not because of gold, but because he wants a better way of life for his people. He wants pasteurized milk, he wants schools, he wants health, and all of that. Now, in my Patreon, I have put the first 40 pages of this work, which explain all this. So if anybody would like to read it for free, it's free open. If anybody wants for free, the Patreon is, of course, Tex Casnovas. This is the line of the work. It's under Tex Casnovas as author. And anybody who would like to go to patreon.com Tex Casnovas, it's the first post, which is free, and it's all 40 pages and explains all this in detail. Now, what I've done in the text is that instead of starting up with this briefing, which is no action, what I've done is that I put it in medias res, where Rex is ambushed and he has flashbacks of this briefing. I'm sure you've seen that. He has flashbacks of this briefing. And also I'd like to say that I kept attention to giving clues of smell and description of the areas. I'm sure you've seen that too. I'm not going to say an example because you said that this is a closed reading session, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But I'm sure that you have seen inside that there are areas where there are smells and visual cues and all of that.
Okay. So, talking specifically about Rex, you've already mentioned that he's about 38 years old, and he's a spy. How should he sound? What sort of attitude does Rex have?
Well, I think that you will be a little bit curious why I say that, but I'd like him to sound like a mix of Roger Moore as 007 and I think I'd like him to sound like that. I think I'd like him to sound like that because I think maybe a hybrid between Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton 70% and 30% Roger Moore, something like that, I think.
For those of us who only really off the top of their head can think of Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig, how they sound, this Roger Moore slight Timothy Dalton voice that you're thinking of, is he does he sound refined? Does he sound a bit more gruff? Does he sound gravelly or more smooth voice? How should he sound?
Well, he sounds, yes, gravely. He sounds like the cynic Timothy Dalton, which I think Timothy Dalton's Bond believed that everybody acts on his own interest, and honor is a big issue. That he's loyal to his friends and his organization. For example, License to Kill, we see him going rogue in order to avenge his friends. So yes, he's cynic. He is deterministic. So he's like 70% Timothy Dalton. Like, I take care of my friends. I have my own way outs when I think that your way out is wrong, which is the first movie of Dalton. And but he has the humor and the flair and the how should I say, abundance of Roger Moore when he was 007. Like, I'm afraid, but I'm not afraid. Like
Okay.
Roger Moore was that. Roger Moore went to an island full of crocodiles and found his way out. As unbelievable as that is was. I mean, in the real scene, you had a stuntman doing this 20 times and failing
Right.
19. We saw the 20th time. But I believe that Rex would be able in such a situation that he would do it the first time. He wouldn't need a stuntman.
All right. So the last question I have before we get into the performance, which I should mention, so that Rebecca and Dory can prep the right sections. I'll be starting then Dory with the second, then Rebecca with the third, and then looping back around that way. So you don't need to worry about bits that you won't be reading. So the last thing is, towards the end of the sample, we have this this girl's voice. Now, who is this girl, if you can share it with us, and how should she sound?
Well, would you like me to tell you exactly, well, let me say it this way. She belongs to the crew of Henry Drake. She is she's a soldier of Henry Drake of the Pirate Conclave, and her voice should sound, in this case, urgent, but it is really on the sultry side. She really talks like a femme fatale,
Okay.
and so she's like an unknown wildcard.
Okay.
This is how it should be interpreted. I would say something. Not sure. Would you like me to try and
Is
parallel an actor or
That's
something?
okay. Is she the Bond girl of this story?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely,
All right.
definitely. Um, with twists, because I have here becoming a double agent and betraying Rex in the middle of the story in the pinch point 2, which
Right.
should be an fantastic surprise to the reader. But not all is what it
Except you've given
seems.
it away now.
No, but not. But I'm actually fully. I'm actually. I would like to apologize to the readers, but I'm not telling the truth.
Fair enough. All right.
So
Well, I think I have enough information to go with and have some fun with this sample. Dory, do you have any questions for Ted that will help you?
Surprisingly, I do not.
Rebecca?
No, I think I have a pretty clear idea of what I want to do.
Okay. So, we're going to jump into this reading. So, folks, if you enjoyed this sample, please do make sure you follow Ted and engage with him. Now, Ted, this is one of your work in progress stories. It is not out yet. The first book in the Tinker Tailor Soldier Serpent series is available and available on Amazon, correct?
Yes, there are 3 parts available, which is all of them are about 400 pages, I think, give or take, and they are priced very competitively, I think, because the first 2 parts are only $1, and the third part is around 3, which is, that's the last part that's available. So I put the last part 3, so a reader cannot gamble a lot trying to read the first parts, but if they like the third, they can support me a little bit more. So this is why I do it this way. I think it's a little bit fair.
Ted, you do not need to argue why your third book costs $3 instead of $1. You're fine. Folks, if you enjoy this sample, there is plenty for you to listen, to read, and you can read a sample of this story over on Ted's Patreon that he mentioned. And again, connect with him and follow Ted to be aware of all of that content. So, we'll get going. Hunted in Spaceport Royale. Planet Spaceport Royale, Australis Sector 3, Valadraco Quadrant, September 1st, 2430. 12:15. Betrayals make for perfect covert meetings. He stopped and turned. Not thought, instinct. Main sidearm cleared holster before his heel fully settled. Total Pacifier Mark 9, or Totpax as Black Ops called it, with affection and respect. Voice-activated, multi-ammo nightmare. No one could miss that glint. Delathian High Commandant armor class. Bioluminescent carapace. Brighter than a red giant mid-collapse. He knew exactly who wore it. Rule 1 drilled into him at the Rarilia Military Academy. Back when survival still felt like a curriculum, not a miracle. No quarter to all and any kind of enemies. "Lock, target," he whispered. The gun heard him. Double piercing. Fire. The first shot shattered the ocular shield of his pursuer. The second punched through what lay beneath. "Next time, wear a bullseye, Saralas." That should be, he shouted, sorry. "Next time, wear a bullseye, Saralas," he shouted. No reply. Both shots had got Saralas right through his left eye. I presume Saralas won't be needing a next time. Pear-shaped? Utterly. Ruthington had promised a stroll through Rarilia Hyde Park, drinking tea from china cups, nothing more. Brush contact with Pirate Conclave's Captain Henry Drake in the Los Misley Saloon. Give him a data stick. Raven 3 would extract him right after. Instead, the mission collapsed into chaos, and with it, R's rather optimistic briefing.
Rex turned and ran into his channelized tributary, which looked more and more like the internals of an old, fat, dead and forgotten python split open. Single entry, no exits, windows, or manholes. Killbox geometry. Textbook choke point, sign on the wall. Petritus tributary. Flash flood danger. Justified the high embankments. Rule 26. Never let yourself be funneled. Too late. The thrum of pursuit echoed behind him. Threat matrix? State and non-state actors, enemy intelligence agents and bounty hunters. He smelled a rat when he saw them enter the saloon. No doubt at all, he had been betrayed and ambushed. But by whom? Out of the corner of his eye, he caught another glint, this time from a swarm of insect drones, closing fast with a malignant hum. He swung the tot packs toward the cloud. The command was cold and clear. Shotgun. Anti-swarm. Track and shoot. Fire. The weapon barked, a flat, brutal sound that echoed off the concrete embankment walls. Fistfuls of pellets shredded the metallic mosquitoes, scattering their components into an oblivion of twisted alloy.
A sulky, philosophical mood overtook him as the shrapnel pattered on the cobblestones like metallic rain. "Hope you brought your silicone oboloi, little friends," he muttered. His right hand moved in a negligible, almost subconscious gesture. A flick of the fingers toward the sky, half salute, half sneer, commending the micro-machines' departing souls to their cybernetic Charon for the long ferry ride across the digital Styx. He kept running. With a little luck, Raven 3 would soon hover above him and save him. High from the rafters, a figure fell like a shadow given form, silent, precise. The noose snapped tight, a cold kiss of hemp around Rex's throat. He gagged, fingers scrabbling at the cord, vision already pinpricking at the edges. Then, crack, a single shot, clean as a surgeon's cut. The black-hooded strangler folded and struck the ground with the smoking hole punched neatly in the head. Another hunter had shot his strangler. Was it greed? A play for the bounty, cold and calculated? Or was it cover? A friendly bullet fired from the dark to keep him breathing. No time for such answers. Not here. The only truth that mattered was this. The rope was loose, and the hunt was still on.
He tried to rise and felt an invisible hand clamp down. Not pain, just resistance. The cold, polite refusal of machinery that had ceased to provide. His eyes flicked to the watch strapped to his wrist. No chime, no flash, just 5 words in that crisp, corporate font Ghost Federation always used for bad news. Exoskeleton battery empty. Of course it was. Nothing failed with more elegance than overworked batteries. His fingers moved. Left buckle, right buckle. 2 sharp snicks, and the exoskeleton exhaled off his shoulders and struck the cobbles with a hollow, aristocratic clatter. He curled into an embankment's crevice, knees bent, shoulders coiled, chin tucked. Made himself small, not in surrender, but in close quarters battle strategy. The masked dead strangler's body was next to him, and looked like his spent exoskeleton. Once both alive, now both dead. But he knew others were coming, not just from behind, soon from the front. He heard voices. The hunt had gone wide, and soon, inevitably, another pack of assassins would try their luck of the draw with him. In a dry river channel with no intersections, no other ways to run and hide.
Classic foobar. But he had lived this kind of situation many times before. But now, was this it? Was this the end of Rex Dodgers? 1225. Dusex Subterranea. Dodgers pressed himself deeper into the crevice, the rough-hewn stone scraping against his shoulders. Too many enemies, too little cover. Only way out, to wait for extraction. He had pushed his distress beacon just as he went through the saloon's window to that back alley proved to be a dry riverbed. Dodgers exhaled. He was afraid. Fear was for men still alive to be able to believe in their own survival. He remembered a young Devon Worthington, then as his instructor at the academy, him just 17 years old. Rule number 15, gentlemen. Never believe in no-win situations. It's frightfully bad form and utterly out of taste. Believe in them by all means when you're dead. It will add a certain frisson to your afterlife. A faint, grim smile touched his lips. He adjusted the cuff of his jacket, a negligible, fastidious gesture in the face of inevitable, and listened. Voices were growing stronger in the distance.
His eyes caught a metallic glint of light from the corpse sprawled before him. It was a badge, pinned askew to the black combat webbing. Not some mercenary's crude sigil. The design was familiar, a thing of clean lines and professional pride. The silver raptor of a Ghost Federation pilot. A coldness that had nothing to do with the incoming threats seized him. With a hand that suddenly felt thick and clumsy, he reached out and tore the black balaclava from the dead man's face. Great Zeus! It was Raven 3! His only ticket out of here. And now, not just a bounty hunter, a traitor blinded by easy gold. Talanta stamped with the bittersweet sigil of treachery. A moan got his attention. Raven 3 was not dead, fatally wounded, but still barely alive. Last bunch of medical nanobots were fighting the inevitable around his brain. Every Raven had them injected in their bodies. "Why?" he asked the dying fellow agent. "Raven 9. Somebody paid everybody, even me," he coughed some blood, "to come kill you." "Who?" "Henry Drake," said Raven 3, and died.
All Ghost Federation Special Operations Forces agents, all Ravens, were trained to deal with the trail. But this one took the cake. The one scenario nobody wanted to rehearse. The one you had to improvise and hope would never come. Anyways, that's what you get when there's one bird, one pilot. He should have a primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency way out. Was this amateur hour? No. A full pace was out of the question. Spaceport Royal had declared the Ghost Federation persona non grata, and meant it with guns. From his squatted position, he looked around. No way forward. Petritus formed one of its stagnant lakes ahead with uncertain depths. Voices were heard in the distance, military orders together with paddling sounds. Was this a no way out? His Glocker's 26 sidearm would give him just a few more minutes to live. Then, a muffled voice. "Psst! Hey, mister!" A girl's voice coming from nowhere, as sharp as glass.
He looked around in surprised despair. "Mister, move over to your right. Keep hugging the wall." He did as he was told, had nothing to lose. Was that a do excepterania or a nasty lure? Rex smirked. Escape class. Emergency, high risk, high weirdness. Exfiltration vector, chthonic. Trust level, none. Probability of trap, extreme. Back in the academy, this is how that nerdy assistant, Lisa Bayers, who had a crush on him, would have filed that up. "Here, mister. Press in here if you want to live." He shoved his back into the recess. A seam groaned. Dust and rust rained down. The stone sunk, not like a door, but like the lid of a tomb long forgotten. Push it! Push it with your back! Help me open it! The girl exclaimed. He hesitated. Mister, hurry up. Make up your mind. You want to be alive with them or follow me? Decide.
There we go. Excellently done.
Thank you very much.
How do we do, Ted?
That was fantastic. It captured the essence, the urgency. I'd like to thank you very much. It was really, really fantastic. I'm full of sentiment, right now. It really captured the essence of it. Um, as I said, it started in media res because it's the first pages. So you need to have a capable protagonist who is in great danger, who is in a ticking clock of getting unalived to be, um, and there is a way out which is very dubious, and there are no other way outs. Now, if some readers enjoyed it, there is an explanation why Rex went this way. Because when he jumped out of the saloon, it was like a dam, so he couldn't go the other way. He had to go only one way through the river, and then where he stopped is where this river made a stagnant. When rivers erode their banks, they create lakes. So Rex could not go any further, and there were some rocks which guided him exactly there. So somebody designed it for it to be like that. Now you're going to ask me, how could this somebody be sure that Rex would be alive all the way through there? If he wasn't, then he wasn't capable of dealing with you. And this is the cynic reality of special operations. You gotta make it. You gotta make it to where you can carry on.
Well, that's really cool. I had a lot of fun with that read. Rebecca, it seemed like in the second section you read, you really kind of got into that. What was that like for you?
Well, I wanted to give two versions because Ted definitely mentioned the James Bond aspect, so I was like, I want to kind of give it more of a cold, clinical read on the first one, and the second one I kind of embrace that British espionage and kind of really build the suspense. So I really liked the espionage aspect. I could definitely feel like I'm trapped and everybody's turning on me, and that was fun.
Dory, what did you think?
Man, my heart started just toward the end. It was so tense, like all of me tensed up because I was just like, okay, we got known danger in the front, unknown danger in the back. Which one are we gonna take, and are we gonna survive it? It was just, I was so tense.
Well, if you're a spy, I'm sure you're always looking out to hear for the voice of your femme fatale. And when you hear that, you need to follow it. You do. All right. Well, that is all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you very much, Ted, for sharing this with us. I will be sending you a copy of the live, so you will be able to use this sample. I had a lot of fun with this, folks. I know you will have a lot of fun reading these stories. They are fun. They are spy-fi stories. Spies in space. It's great. You'll really like it. So do please go and follow Ted and engage with all of his content, and then check out his Patreon, where you can read the first bunch of pages of this story and listen to his books. The third, fair warning, the third book is so expensive. It's $3. So be careful. Now, folks, please go and support Ted. He deserves it. He is amazing. And he's a very humble guy. So he wouldn't say so himself. Thank you, Dory, for sharing your voice, as you have done regularly on this show, and thank you, Rebecca, for also jumping in and sharing with us all. It's always a pleasure to have you two on. All right.
Thank you very much, my friends. I'd like to thank Tanya Hagel, of course, Celtic Blue to you. I'd like to thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much, indeed. And it's a pleasure to be in your program here. And I'd like to thank the narrators. They really captured the essence, and I thank them very, very, very much. And I'd like to follow you. Please send me a message or something. I'd like to follow you as well. Thank you very much.
Excellent. All right, folks. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.